Man, I'm set up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Uh-huh. Let's check some things. Okay. We live, we live, we live. Check my camera. Got it. We streaming live. We got it. Oh yeah. We'll get right into it, baby. Okay. Okay. Permission. What's permission? Everybody get off into it, baby. Come on, we about to get off into it. About to get off into it. Let us do our thing, baby. Let us do our thing. Yep, let us do our thing, baby. That part. Yeah, man, let's do it. Hey, what y'all doing out there? What y'all doing out there? What y'all doing out there? Hey, you already know who it is, Mr. B Woods, Power Move 06. Hey, today we're still going over the ABCs of financial growth. Hey, and today letter we're going to be going over today is the letter N. Okay, the letter N. So I'm gonna let Facebook do its thing. I'm gonna let a couple people chime in. Zoom, hey, same thing on YouTube. We're gonna let them do their thing, let them chime in. So for all the people that's watching live, hey, hashtag live. For all the people that are tuning in and they're watching the replay, hashtag replay in the comments. For people that's out there in different areas, I want to know how far and wide am I reaching when I'm going on with this live streaming. So if it's adding value to what you have going on with your finances, hey, hashtag value inside of the comment. And we're gonna get right off into it. I'm gonna let a couple people chime in, and we are gonna go in on the letter N today with the alphabets of financial growth. Hey, I have been often challenged by one of our greatest trainers of all time, Mr. Bryan M. being the mentor to the mentors to the millions, as you were. And also my mentor, Mr. Charles, the Waymaker Ivory, has challenged us to send positivity out there to help people grow financially with the alphabets. And we've been on this journey for, this is a 26-day challenge. We've been on for 26 days. This is day 14, and we are on the letter N. Well, I'm on the letter N today, and we're going to get right off into it. So today's letter is N. And with the letter N, we're going to talk about notes. A wise man once told me that note takers are money makers. I know some of you say, like, why would that wise man say that, Brian? He was correct, because some people, they will listen to things that's going to help them out financially, but they didn't take notes, write it down so they can go back and refer to it later. Because sometimes you miss the message in the conversation when you don't take notes. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people have short-term memory and some people don't. But if you took notes on what the conversation was about, you can always go back and refer to it. And also, you can always go back if you needed to find the information to help someone financially. You have it somewhere in a notebook, or from a notebook, you can transfer it over to a hard drive or whatever the case may be. But you have that valuable information. You don't have to go look and find where it's at. Okay, so note takers are money makers. So think about this. When the last time you took a look at your net worth? Yeah, I said it, your net worth. Okay, I know some of you saying, Brian, what do you mean when I say net worth? We're talking about, the definition of net worth is the value of your assets minus your liabilities. Think about it this way. Every time when you check out and see what your net worth is, it's just like you're getting a handle on your net worth, is like you getting a financial report card. Think about this. When the last time you got a report card from anything? Minus people that that are in college or whatever. When the last time you got like an update on where are you at in your financial journey? Are you lopsided, or are you in the green right now when it comes to your finances? Think about it. Some people don't want to talk about what their net worth is, or not even look up and see what their net worth is, because of the fact that they don't want to understand where they're at net worth wise, because they're not building. Okay. And when I say they're not building, what's going on, baby? What's going on, Steve? Hey, when some people, they're building, they're not realizing that it's necessary for you to go and check and see where you at financially with your net worth. Break it down to you. Okay, the difference between your net worth is this. When you talk about assets and liabilities, assets consist of things like your home, cash, collectible cars, art collection, stocks and shares, insurance policies. This is what you have as assets. Liability things lead on things like credit cards, car loans, mortgages, student loans, and other loans. That's what you owe. Okay, you need to go take a look at these things in order for you to have a healthy financial growth in your life. And the reason why you need to do this is because you could be drowning in having too much liabilities and you wondering why your net worth is not growing. That's because you have not got rid of those liabilities. And metaphorically, when they talk about liabilities, believe me, a liability always need and want money. That's what a liability is. That's the same thing metaphorically with someone that always needs something but never bring nothing to the table. Okay, what are you bringing to the table for growth with your finances? Are you bringing more cash? Or is your home paid off? Do you have a pricey collectible art collection? Do you have a up-to-date and a nice sizable insurance? Are you playing the stock market and shares to the T where you can even grow your stocks and shares? Are you doing these things? It's necessary for you to take a look at these different things to see where you at. Because now, when you go to the big boy table and you want to sit at the table, you just don't get a seat at the table financially if your finances are not in order. Okay, think about it. I know one day some of you want to be an accredited investor. And in order for you to get to that accredited investor level, you got to have assets, and you got to make sure that your money is in the right area so you can create and have a portfolio that that doesn't have holes in it. What keeps holes in your assets is having all those liabilities. You got to cut it out. You got to cut it all the way out. I could talk about each one of these liabilities and break it down to you. I'm gonna give this to you, and I want you to take a look at it. Credit cards. Credit cards, for instance. Credit card is used in times when, hey, you use it to help build credit, not use it as a emergency fund. Now, the rule of thumb is you want to make sure that credit card is not going over 30%. 30% is too high. If you got a $5,000 credit card, $1,500 is the mark. $1,500 is way too much if you got that, if it's over that. That's already 30% of that card. So you want to keep that down, low as possible. Under 30, I would say 20. I would say 20%. Okay. And if you're using your credit card on a constant basis, you want to make sure you pay it before that 30th day of the month. Don't let it go to 31. Let 30 days of the month. You want to make sure it's paid back off down. So now you help build credit. Say this to you, that it's better to use your credit card than use a debit card, because with a debit card, you get nothing from it. Hey, shout out to my guy, Mr. Ed. Drop that knowledge on me. It's better to use a credit card to, buy stuff than your debit. You get nothing off the debit. When you do a certain amount of transaction off of that debit card, what you get is you get certain fees from other places that if you go over a certain amount of debits that you have throughout the month. That's ultimately giving fees back to the bank and giving fees to whoever that merchant is that own that ATM machine. So you can use your credit card in a way that it benefits you. If you know you only making $5,000 a month, you can run up to like $5,000 worth of credit on it, and then take that money that you get on your check and put right back on that credit card. That's just one thing. Car loans. These car loans out here are being absurd. These car loans are being absurd. And I'll tell you, with these car loans, anything over a single digit percentage is too high. If it's double digit, that's too high for you paying for a car right now. Stop getting in this debt for these cars. Sometimes it's best to wait on some of these cars that you really want. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some people say when that 2022 come out or when the 2023 come out, I'm going to get it. I want it. I got to be up with the Jones. But in reality, you do not have to go and buy that car that same exact year when it came out. You can wait a while, because guess what? If you truly, really wanted it, guess what? Why not be able to pay the whole thing in full? Or let's have the bulk of that money. You have like only 6 months left that you got to pay. So now you cut out the middleman. You cut out the bank playing with you like you a child in a pool, because they're gonna charge you a high interest rate on your loan because your credit is jacked up. That brings me to the mortgage. Let's talk about the mortgage. Mortgages, most mortgages are 30 years. But in reality, 30 years is too long to be paying on a mortgage. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes you get the 30-year loan because it gives you time and grace period if you have, life changes or life issues financially. that you can adjust and bounce back, when like that. But after a certain amount of time, you can refinance that mortgage to a 15-year mortgage, and you'll see that your interest rate will drop, and then now you're paying less than $1,000 less in mortgage. Student loans. Let's talk about the student loans. Those student loans, for some people, they think that they are necessary, but let's be real. Let's just face the facts. Let's face the facts all the way with it. If you cannot have to get a student loan, don't go get no student loan if you don't need to get no student loan. Work to get the capital to be able to pay for that school. You settle to go out there and get some of those grants that you don't have to pay back. Okay? Getting the student loan be the last case and scenario you going out there and get that loan. Because think about it. These student loans keeping you in debt. Now you off into your career. Now you paying loans for the bulk of the rest of your life because it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming with those loans. But that's a whole nother topic. I'm just giving some insight on things you could do to help you get down some of this liability. Loans as a whole. Stay away from the loans if you can. If you're going to borrow these people's money, make sure that you're getting the best interest rate possible with borrowing this money. Now, if you can do this, now you can see the difference in your assets being worth more while than you having all this liability. Do you know on average, a lot of people have more liability than they have asset as far as debt, what they owe? Think about this. Just imagine the average person right now, let's say somebody that's not conscious or not serious about their finances. They got less than $500 in their bank account right now. $500 in their bank account right now. But they got $120-something thousand in debt. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. You got $500 in your bank account, but you got $120-something thousand worth of debt. And nobody was going to sit here and tell you that, hey, it was necessary for you to look at your net worth. So you majorly lopsided. You want to take a look at that. You really want to take a look at that because that's hurting you from excelling and taking your finance to a whole nother level because you're not looking at your net worth. Remember, note takers are money makers. That's why it's good for you to take notes. If you're watching this live today, or you watching any of the videos that we had all the way up to now on this ABC, you want to go back and look at the things that we've been talking about. Whether it's not looking at my ABC challenge or one of my partners' challenge, is necessary for you to look at this for growth. Okay? The reason why I chose note takers or money makers and net worth as my two words today is because it's necessary. It's so necessary. Now, the thing is, when you're conscious about where you are financially, then you know what you need to do in order for you to be able to take it to a whole nother level. And what do you mean when they say, Brian, what are you talking about whole nother level? We're talking about being able to have a seat at the table, okay? Having a seat at the table. You're not up there asking and pleading. You earned the right to have a seat at that table. Now you can talk, big boy talk about what you want to do with your finances because you're the person that's in control. You're in control of your finances. So with that being said, I need for you to make sure that you're taking notes. I need for you to make sure you're taking notes because money makers are note takers. Take notes on what you need to do to tackle on improving your net worth. Make sure that you are, growing with some awesome assets, and make sure that you are getting rid of a lot of these liabilities that you have because these liabilities are hurting you. Liabilities are just like cancer. They just keep coming back and keep coming back until you cut them off at the head, at the root of the problem. And the root of the problem is you are putting out more than you're keeping for longevity and creating generational wealth. So with that being said, JT, what's going on, baby? With that being said, take notes because those are money makers. Take a fine-tuned comb look at your net worth so you can see where you got to get rid of these liabilities, i.e. credit cards, car loans, mortgage, student loans, all loans, assets, owning your home, cash, collectible cars with the deeds, collectible art, stocks and shares, insurance policies, precious metals. These are the things that you want to look at, what you want to add into your asset realm. Okay? So, like I always say, we'll take 2 L's, make the W, and get the win. And let's build, baby. Remember, the bottom is way too crowded. I'm going to see you on the beaches of the world at the top. Shout out to my great, awesome leader today, Mr. Martin Luther King on the day. Guys like him have paved the way by making it necessary, and he had a dream. Why not carry on his legacy on this day and every day? A salute to you, Mr. Dr. Martin Luther King, for making a difference in all our lives across the nation and the world. Hey, y'all have an awesome MLK Day. See y'all on the beaches of the world. See ya.